Hi again, everyone. I'm olliemathews. This is Societal Narcissism. This video is sponsored by contribution from Eva. Eva gave a general contribution, which I will use for this video. You guys know where I'm at with the whole pedophilia, LGBT nonsense, and this whole slippery slope that was supposed to be about love, and we're not trying to convert your children, and less than 10 years later, this is where we end up. This is a story written by somebody I follow on X, Christina Button. She's an independent journalist, writes for City Journal. She came across this. This group wants to affirm pedophilia. Before You Act is part of a growing movement to legitimize sexual attraction to children. Before You Act. I mean, there's nothing that they name that isn't a mistake. Before You Act. An alarming new movement insists that sexual attraction to minors is not a psychiatric disorder to be managed, but an identity to be affirmed. You know what? I don't care what it is. Okay? The only thing I want to affirm with a pedophile is that they're locked away, buried under a prison, or put in a wood chipper. That's about it. That's the only affirmation for pedophiles that is needed. Leading this effort is Before You Act, a Maryland-based organization founded in 2003 to support pedophiles, or as they call them, minor attracted persons, MAPs. You hear that? If you hear the term MAP, okay, they're not talking about a road map. They're talking about pedophiles. And just like in some kind of Orwellian nightmare, they want to rename everything. Minor attracted persons was a pedophile, is a pedophile, will always be a pedophile. From May 2nd through May 4th, 2005, the group will host a conference in Ohio to train mental health providers in affirmative MAP therapy, which seeks to help clients accept their age of attraction as intrinsic and a valid part of their identity. This approach abandons clinicians' traditional risk management focus when treating pedophiles and raises serious concerns about public safety. And herein lies the conundrum of what I've been dealing with recently, where what I'm telling you, you need to follow, you need therapy, you need an advice of a professional, but then it turns out that you have professionals that are signing up for this shit. So where does that leave anybody? Historically, mental health professionals have classified pedophilia as a paraphilia, a psychiatric disorder characterized by an abnormal or harmful sexual interest in anyone or anything other than legally consenting adults. For decades, clinicians treating pedophilia have sought to manage clients' harmful impulses, prevent abuse, and protect potential victims. You can't help these people. They reoffend nearly 100% of the time. They never get rid of these urges. Ever, ever, ever. Not even many times through chemical castration does it do anything. Researchers and clinicians working in this tradition aim to understand the condition and develop prevention strategies. They are in a tough position. To get pedophiles to participate, they must create non-judgmental environments where they feel safe enough to disclose information, even though the language used can seem to outsiders to validate pedophilia. Let me tell you something. Trying to find pedophiles, they're everywhere. It's obvious they're everywhere. All you got to do is look online. They're easy enough to find. Working with pedophiles can help prevent child abuse, but the public often wrongly accuses these professionals of condoning it. But they are condoning it. They are condoning it because they are. And she's not for this. She's exposed. This article is exposing it. It's ridiculous. They're accused of condoning it as they're setting up a system in order to condone it. Yeah, because we could see this was coming. Listen, even back then in 2003 and before when they were talking about gay marriage, look, anybody with half a brain and half sense could see this was the road it was always going to go down. Researchers typically distinguish people with pedophilic inclinations from those who act on them and believe that such impulses can be effectively managed with cognitive behavioral therapy, medications, lower sexual drive, and structured support groups. Right, well, where's the evidence of any of that? Where's the evidence of any of that? Where's the evidence of any of these cured pedophiles in the history of pedophiles? In the last 50 years, show me one. Show them to me. Show them. And who are they talking about when they're talking about, are they talking about men, or are they talking about men and women? Because they're both. Might be for different reasons why men and women go after children, okay, but they're both doing it. And they're both pedophiles. Before You Act, however, advances a different model. The group believes that attempts to alter pedophilic desires are not just ineffective, but unethical. It's unethical to stop that dude from trying to have sex with your child. That's unethical. My mother, I guess, was doing me a favor when she left me with those monsters and then laughed about it. She was doing me a favor. Well, she didn't want to offend them. And as sick as that was, that probably actually was her mentality back then because she loved that shit. She loved that shit. The group believes that attempts to alter pedophilic desires are not just ineffective but unethical, and it insists that efforts to reduce patients' attraction to children through reconditioning methods or sex drive-reducing drugs are harmful, drawing direct comparisons to conversion therapy for homosexuality. So if you try to get somebody to stop having sex with children, it is the same as sending a gay care person to Mike Pence school where they convert you. This is where the slippery slope has led. This is where the slippery slope of gay marriage has led us to. The organization discourages clinicians from diagnosing clients with pedophilic disorders and instead claims that pedophilia is a sexual age orientation founded by social worker Russell Dick. I mean, are you serious? I mean, it's like God is trying to tell you this is a demon. It's telling you by giving him like, yeah, this is Russell Dick. He wants to have sex with your children. It's probably not a good idea to listen to him, you know? Founded by social worker Russell Dick. Social worker, you need more of those too, remember? Remember that from the left and these same people? No more cops, more social workers. Well, this is what they expect of their social workers. This is what they expect of your social workers. And again, let me be clear here. None of this would be possible without women voters and the 19th Amendment. None of this. None of this. None of this. None of this. Tell me again that anything like this could ever even be a possibility without women voting. This is where the 19th Amendment has led us to. This is how crazy it is. Founded by social worker Russell Dick and convicted child sex offender, a convicted child, this just keeps getting better and better. Convicted child sex offender Michael Melsheimer, Before You Act includes pedophiles in its working group and invokes the activist slogan, "Nothing about us without us," arguing that pedophiles should help shape the therapeutic models. You want to shape something? How about the size of your prison cell? That's the only thing I want you shaping. Though the group states on its website that it does not endorse sexual contact between adults and minors, wink, individuals familiar with Before You Act note that its language around consent is worryingly ambiguous, allegedly referring to so-called willing children. Remember, we don't want your children. We're not coming after your children. Remember, they're all liars. Whatever these people tell you it's not about is exactly what it's about. Every time. Affirmative map therapy, the alternative treatment model that Before You Act promotes, encourages individuals to integrate their attraction to minors into their sense of self. The group argues that one's attraction to minors is often an important part of a MAP's identity. Oh, we wouldn't want that. We wouldn't want to hurt the poor pedophile's identity now, would we? In some cases being the most important aspect of their sexual identity. Their therapeutic approach draws from LGBT affirmative psychotherapy, which treats sexual feelings as innate, unchangeable, and subject to personal acceptance. Before You Act also borrows from the American Psychological Association guidelines on sexual minorities, encouraging acceptance of one's age of attraction. Sure. Come date my 6-year-old daughter, you 42-year-old freak. You goddamn... Before You Act repeatedly compares pedophilia with homosexuality, liking the stigma of gay people once faced to the oppression experienced by pedophiles. Poor pedophiles. But in the gay community, and I'm not blaming, I mean, there's plenty of decent gays out there who are absolutely 100% behind what I'm saying here and hate this shit. Excuse me. But we've always heard that pedophilia has nothing to do with being gay. And yet, yes it does. Yes it does. At least for the boys it does. This is a misleading comparison. Unlike adults in same-sex relationships, children can never consent to sex with adults. Equating these fundamentally different forms of sexual conduct erases the moral and legal distinction between adult relationships and child victimization, obviously. The group nevertheless casts pedophilia in a sympathetic light. Its materials describe pedophilic feelings as a form of romantic affection and a desire for friendship, and a claim that pedophiles often seek to protect children and make them happy. It frames pedophiles as members of a marginalized community who face stigma, discrimination, and oppression on multiple levels. Here's the question. Okay, it's all about love for the child and this and that. Here's the $25,000 question. What happens when the child gets older? You're attracted to minor children. That child is going to grow. They're going to develop. They're going to grow into men, or if you're a woman, then what? We know they're not going to be attracted. So this isn't love. This is a sexual fetish that only lasts a certain amount of time, because once that child ages out of being a child, that pedophile, that nap, isn't going to be attracted to them anymore. Now, are they? they're going to want another 6-year-old. But tell me, how's that? So tell me it's about love. Oh, I can't love you now. You're not 6. I can only love a 6-year-old. Sorry. The only question we should be doing with asking about these people is what fucking island to send them to or what prison to bury them under. That's it. And again, none of this would be possible. None of this would be possible without the 19th Amendment. Sorry, not sorry. All right. Its materials describe pedophilic feelings as a form of romantic affection, desire for friendship, and claim that pedophiles often seek to protect children and make them happy. It frames pedophiles as a member of the marginalized community who face stigma, discrimination, and oppression on multiple levels. One document discussing purported injustices faced by pedophiles, B4U Act, presents the case of one fired from his high school teaching job after getting caught posting on a pedophile chat forum. As he described it, I was fired from a high school teaching position because the school admin found out I was posting on boy chat. Oh, God, poor you. I was put on a watch list. I took my credentials to other districts and went right on with my teaching career. And there you go. And there's the school system for you. There's your public school system for you, people. That's something I haven't been talking about either. Teachers are not heroes. This is everything I've been talking about for years. B4U Act presents this as an employment-based discrimination, but one who is sexually attracted to children should never hold a position with proximity to and authority over minors. Public safety trumps concerns about adult employment prospects. Clearly, but not to these people, not in their minds. Pedophiles should be encouraged to seek therapy and help, but efforts to destigmatize their condition can do more harm than good. Some stigmas serve as a critical function, socially reinforcing moral boundaries and protecting vulnerable populations. Efforts to normalize or affirm a sexual attraction to children risk undermining public safety and weakening the social barriers that prevent exploitation and abuse. That push for affirmation is wrapped up in the language of progressivism, as seen in the agenda for B4U Act's upcoming conference. The meeting features sessions on promoting social justice and advocacy for MAPS, intersectionality, neurodivergence, and age dysphoria, and several on self-acceptance. It also advertises financial assistance for attendees with multiple minoritized identities. Like, God, these people are just fucking exhausting. It offers BIPOC, Black, Indigenous, and people of color attendees a 10% discount. Oh, Lord. The group's website highlights the speaker's social justice credentials. One presenter, Nadiv, and they, them, described as a therapist who proudly serves and celebrates sexual and gender diverse people, especially MAPS. Another social worker, Kristen Spooner, she, they. Are you seeing why they want social workers, not cops? And I'm no fan of cops, but this is what they want to send to your house. Okay? Some they, them, she, they, friggin' minor attracted pedophile appeaser. That's what they want to send to your house. Earned a doctorate in social work with a focus on anti-racism, social justice, anti-stigma, and sexual health. Just go down to the social justice store and get a job. And is passionate about offering sex-positive and judgment-free treatment to individuals navigating minor attraction. Spooner's dissertation in capstone projects focused on addressing social worker stigma toward pedophiles, specifically by creating an anti-stigma curriculum for master-level students. A master's in having sex with children. This is what they want. They want you to be able to get a master's in being a pedophile. Awesome. Awesome. What did that diploma look like? I'll pin that on the wall. Here's my doctorate in Dr. Kidbanger. Jesus H. I'm sorry, Jesus, I don't want to take your name in vain, but my Lord. Strike somebody down, will you? Master's level. Such efforts should help these seemingly marginal ideas take hold among professional social workers. A distinction must be maintained between pedophiles and other supposed minority groups. Pedophilic attraction is a terrible aberration. Those afflicted with it who have not acted on it should be helped, but their pedophilic interest should never be affirmed as an important part of their identity. And let me tell you, I doubt there's any of them that haven't acted on it. I really do. I mean, maybe there's, I'm sure the number's not zero, but I'm sure it's a real tiny number. To the extent that paraphilias can be managed, the clinical focus must remain on impulse control. Analogies from other psychiatric conditions are instructive. Obsessive compulsive disorder, compulsive behaviors become more entrenched and the more they're indulged. In cases of post-traumatic stress disorder, repeatedly revisiting traumatic memories can reinforce their psychological hold. Paraphilic disorders operate similarly. Entertaining or affirming deviant fantasies tends to intensify under the underlying issues. This is the central danger in encouraging individuals to incorporate such desires, particularly those directed at children, into their self-conception. Suppression, not affirmation, offers the clearest path towards reducing pathological attractions over time. Therapy is not meant to validate every feeling or affirm every identity claim. Its purpose is to help individuals confront harmful impulses, not weave them into their sense of self. Yet under influence of progressive activism, groups like Before You Act are recasting pedophilic attraction as something to be accepted rather than contained. In doing so, they risk collapsing critical moral distinctions and shifting the focus away from the safety and well-being of children, the population most in need of protection. There you have it. Whatever they tell you it's not about, it's always about. It's always about what they tell you it's not about. Stories like this is one of the main reasons I still have to run this channel, because few things get me going like this shit, because I lived through it. I know what it does. I know the damage, and I know the evil in these people. Worry about the poor Ped0s' feelings. Give me a break. I mean, that's where we are. That's where we are. And understand, none of this would be possible without women voting and the 19th Amendment. You may not like it, but you better learn to love it, because you can't dispute it. You can't. You tell me, if it was just men voting, the men would be like, yeah, this is awesome. Never, never, never in a million years. Never. Listen, and I knew once that gay marriage, once everybody threw their hands up and said, hey, whatever, they were sick of being called homophobes, and it didn't matter how many laws were passed, even in California, a ban on gay marriage. What was that, in like 08? Maybe 04, 05, somewhere around there. There was a gay marriage. There was a vote to ban gay marriage that passed like 54% of the vote. And then once again, here comes a federal judge. A federal judge comes along, said, nope, the will of the people. And they just, again. And this was a ballot initiative brought on by the citizens. This was a citizen movement. So it wasn't being done by the legislature. So once the judge ruled against it, the state didn't want to ban gay marriage. They would have had to under the ballot initiative, but they just let it go. And who was the judge? Who banned gay marriage? Oh, it was a woman. What was her name? I think it was Irish. You might want to look that up, though. If there was only common denominators in these things, you know? If there was only a common denominator for the source of all of this. Yeah, I think it was, maybe it's Ireland. I think so. Thank you, Eva, for the contribution. I really appreciate it. Thank you to everybody watching. Please leave any opinions in the comments section below. And again, if you want your story read on the channel, you have a topic you'd like me to cover, something you'd like to expose, you'd like to set up a Skype, a phone call, have a private video made, you'd like to sponsor a video like this for someone who needs help and can't afford it, or just make a contribution to the channel in general to keep it supported, growing, and successful, because this channel survives 100% on contributions from all of you. Without you guys, all this goes away. So if you like what you see here and you want to see more videos like this, you know what to do with the Cash App, Zelle, PayPal, and email links in the description box below. Also, please like and share this video wherever you can. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and be sure to click the subscription bell to be notified of all my video uploads. Also, be sure to follow both my channels on Rumble. Follow me on X and Telegram as well. I'm Ollie Matthews. This has been Societal Narcissism. Take care, everyone.